It's Madden NFL 22, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the boys and the Ravens, and it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to historic Baltimore, Maryland, and M&T Bank Stadium. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens. Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. Now Pollard. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Now we'll see what the right arm of Dak Prescott has in store as the Dallas Cowboys offense sets up shop. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
From the 24, Prescott. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. On 1st and 10, Prescott. And there is Amari Cooper, his first catch. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. Second and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. The give is to Elliott. Elliott a first down and more. And finally taken down at the 34.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Big article in the paper this morning talking about how they wanted to get chunk plays in the run game. Well, early on, there's a good one.
There is, and for guys on defense, they've got to remember the old adage. You've got to meet force with force, and if you don't, you get run over, as they did on that last play.
So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
That's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Space to run past the 20. And all the way down to the 5. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards. All right, Charles, let me put you in the head of one of those defenders out there. You have a big play like that go against you so early. What does that shake your confidence?
It shouldn't, but it often does, because your thought process all during the week is how you're going to get after that offense and make your plays. And when they make one against you, it makes you a little bit hesitant.
Time to regroup. 1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Dak's going to keep it. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Dak Prescott keeping it himself from 5 yards out. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Defensively, they told us that the top priority was defending option plays this week. But here on the very first drive, the defense broke down a bit.
It certainly did, and it's really not a surprise because defending option football is difficult. You have to think too much. Most of the time, you just react to what you see and you play fast. Here you're reacting, you're processing. Do I have the back? Do I have the quarterback? Who do I take? Do I take on a blocker? And next thing you know, he's in the end zone.
Zerline good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Duvernay going to sit on this in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
Early part of his career, defenses really had to focus on his running ability, and they still do. But now, he's turned himself into a true dual-threat quarterback. When he plants his cleats in the ground and turns it loose, good things happen downfield.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
Jackson running again. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Defensively, it was Leighton Vander Esch up from his linebacker spot. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Now Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Mike McCarthy pretty decisive. He brings out that red challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
Let's go, baby.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson into double coverage, and it's intercepted. picked off by Jordan Lewis. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. And this defense looking like they have come to play the pick six, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills?
Oh, pass.
Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski, that's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Zerline now for the PAT. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And now, Charles, this becomes a pretty important second drive for them. They're already down a pair of scores here in the first quarter.
As you noted, they're down 2 scores, and to me, they're down a possession or a service break if this were tennis, right? Because they just gave one up. Only their second drive now.
Dobbins hit, and he fumbles. And the Cowboys have recovered. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. This offense thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially to skill positions. And then for the offensive line, instead of attacking, maybe slow the tempo down a little bit, let them catch their breath.
And he'll be pulled down, and now a late flag will come with it. And that's in the area of a face mask, I think. Well, when you get an elite running back like he is, sometimes you've got to employ the by any means necessary method to get him down.
Yeah, sometimes you're relieved even if a flag comes out. But if you just get the hand up and you get it on the mask, you can kind of get away with that. But as soon as you curl it around the finger or the hand, that's pretty easy for everyone to see, and they'll call.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and it's now 21-0.
Nothing.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And he returns this to the 22. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions. but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jackson. That'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews.
Oh, yeah.
21-0, our score after 1. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Now it's Jackson. He gets this underneath to Dobbins. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
I feel you, dog. I feel you.
It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll go option to the short side. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle. He's already put it on the ground once in this first half. They're no gain, just struggling to get going.
Yeah, and what he needs right now, a dose of confidence, which means his guys have to chop a big one for him, give him a chance to run a little bit, and gain some of that confidence back. He didn't get it on that carry.
Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. From the gun, it's Jackson. Well, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. This will be spotted just shy of midfield, a 59-yard attempt. So they do come up with their first points of the game, but Charles, the question is going to shift to their defense.
Yeah, the way things have gone, 3 points could become insignificant fast if this grows to 28-3 or 35-3. They need this defense to come up with a stop, and they need to do it now.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give them a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. To throw is Prescott. This to Jarwin. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A give to Elliott. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
He's tackled at the 40-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Elliott. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
It's a gain of 4, and it's 3rd down.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return, and the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Jackson from the shotgun. He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. Wide open is Watkins. He's got him. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Back-to-back gains of 17, and they are really on the march now. It's a 1st down.
My goodness, they've come out locked in on this drive. Play calling, execution, they are fully in sync. 3 straight passes, 3 first downs. They're moving the ball downfield almost at will. This defense really struggling to find answers.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. He'll dump this off complete to Dobbins. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll make it a 2nd down. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Tight ends on the Ringo.
So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good, and that'll get the deficit down to 15. That was perfect. From distance, he steps up, knocks it right down Main Street.
And Main Street's celebrating right now with him, aren't they? I love the mechanics of the whole thing. Snap, hold, everything was right on target, and the blocking was perfect, and he executed so well.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Cowboys out on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's get a check on the next-gen stats from that first half for the Cowboys. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the third and fourth quarters. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, there's a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And they'll need to get things in gear as they trail here at the break.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the third quarter. No run back here for Duvernay. Touchback out to the 25. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
He wasn't ready.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Jackson now. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Dancing to his left. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down.
Let's go.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. We've seen this a few times in this game. That offensive line just, I don't know if you want to call it out physical, out tough, whatever you want to use.
And what people do when that is happening, when they're getting dominated that way, they spread things out a little bit, make it more of a space game, and allow your skill position players to make a few plays out in open field. Take away the physical element, gives you a chance.
Going deep here for Watkins. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up fourth.
The scoreboard tells a story for him, a little bit bleak, and while it's not quite desperation time yet, it's definitely getting close, but the defense reads the scoreboard as well. They're going to back up and make them really earn it.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
But they certainly got dented with that first down run. So now they've got to be back on their heels a little bit as a defense.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Elliott a first down and more. And all the way down to the 41-yard line.
Let's go.
71 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, that's one of the main responsibilities of a safety in any defense. A long way downfield before he's able to corral him, but that's why you have him on the field, the last line of defense.
He made the play. I don't know if it'll be remembered. They're probably so mad that the run went for that long.
Wonder if they were thinking pass in that situation as opposed to run and being caught a little bit out of position. Fortunately, he's able to track him down.
Meanwhile, Prescott's throw there caught by Gallup. And he's taken down inside the 30.
First down, Cowboys.
First down, Prescott. Looking for Cooper, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver, whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter. They'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you could see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
Baltimore about ready to go on offense. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
from just shy of midfield. Jackson, looking for Andrews downfield. And this is caught inside the 5. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, 49 yards. And the Ravens are able to cut into this deficit here in the final minute of the third. But for all the deserved accolades Lamar Jackson gets for his running prowess, his deep ball, it's really a thing to behold as well.
But I'm really not sure what was more impressive about that throw. Was it the distance travel or the accuracy involved? Because I'm going to tell you straight up, when you're trying to hit a guy in stride that far downfield, there's nothing easy about it. But he sure made it look easy there.
And that throw, pretty impressive, and even 61 yards through the air. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Now Pollard. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage. Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Prescott from the gun. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play. And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down. And there was absolutely 0 pressure on the quarterback on that play. 3rd down, and he has all the time in the world to eventually find an open receiver for a 1st down pickup. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Cowboys with the football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the 4th. 81 yards rushing for him now to this point. Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut. Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. On 2nd down, Elliott once more. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. This is Elliott. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
Brandon, unfortunately, I've been here before. They've had 2 opportunities to stop them, so this is demoralizing. They haven't gotten it done. Now you're calling all your blitzes, all your attack defenses, but you're not worried about playing your normal position. You're going to take chances now.
Well, you said it. 2 third-down opportunities to get off the field. Couldn't do it, and the clock continues to roll. They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
That gives him 98 yards in this game, and he's got to feel pretty good about that, but the entire offense does. The big thing, though, Brandon, they've got to get to 100, though.
You think he knows he's at 98?
I think someone has told him by now. And here's the thing. Getting to 100 or more is tangible evidence that you've had a nice day running the football, and that's what his offensive line wants for him and for themselves.
Meanwhile, Dak's throw taken in by Cooper here. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 31-yard line.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Again, it's Cooper as he makes the catch. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Zeke going to get it on the option. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll take this one inside the 10 down to the 8. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. A 20th carry here for Elliott. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt away the game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down by 15. A minute 46 to go. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. Jackson. And that's complete to Brown. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. The Ravens moving quickly here as the clock runs. Here's Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. Finding Watkins. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now Jackson. Connects with Duvernay. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Jackson. Connecting with Andrews. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45.
I like the thought process. I like the design, but I think he may have waited a little too long to spot his man, because if you're going to run that drag route, you've got to put it on him and let him turn upfield. Instead, he waits until his receiver's too close to the sideline, and they don't get the yards after the catch.
Jackson to throw. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you've got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Well, this is getting close to a no-win situation now. They've got one final shot. They're on their end of the field, and it's 4th and long. This might require a little extra razzle-dazzle to get it done.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag. And on 4th down, this is a big call. So he was past the line of scrimmage when he threw it.
And as they say, that's a no-no. Got to be able to understand where you are on the field and not cross the line before throwing the ball downfield.
And now with 4 seconds left, we get a timeout call. Prescott, he goes down to a knee, and that should just about do it. So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.